hive was alive with activity, a symphony of hisses, clicks, and the occasional guttural growl. The air was thick with the scent of pheromones, a complex language that dictated every action within the colony. Deep within the cavernous chambers, nestled in the shadows of the organic resin that coated the walls, a xenomorph stirred. Its sleek, obsidian carapace glistened faintly in the dim bioluminescent light that emanated from the hive's walls. The creature uncurled itself from its resting position, its elongated, segmented tail twitching as it stretched its limbs. The day had begun. The xenomorph moved with a fluid grace, its movements silent and deliberate. It was a drone, one of many in the hive, but it had a purpose. The hive mind, a collective consciousness that bound every member of the colony, guided its actions. It was not a mind of words or images, but of instincts and impulses, a primal force that drove the xenomorph to fulfill its role in the colony's survival. The drone's primary task was to maintain the hive, to ensure that the structure remained intact and that the queen's chambers were secure. But today, something was different. The hive mind had detected an intrusion. The xenomorph paused, its head tilting slightly as it processed the information. The hive mind's signal was faint, but unmistakable. Something had breached the outer perimeter. The drone's senses sharpened, its inner jaws twitching in anticipation. It moved swiftly through the winding tunnels of the hive, its claws clicking softly against the resin-coated floor. The other members of the colony were already on alert, their movements more urgent, their hisses more frequent. The hive was preparing for a threat. As the drone approached the source of the disturbance, it encountered a group of warriors, larger and more heavily armored than itself. The warriors were the hive's first line of defense, tasked with eliminating any threats to the colony. They moved with a predatory confidence, their movements coordinated and precise. The drone fell in line with them, its role shifting from maintenance to combat. The hive mind had deemed the intrusion significant enough to warrant a full response. The group moved through the tunnels with a single-minded focus, their senses attuned to the slightest disturbance. The intruders were close now, their presence a discordant note in the hive's otherwise harmonious environment. The xenomorphs could sense their fear, their sweat, their rapid heartbeats. It was a scent that triggered a primal hunger, a desire to hunt, to kill. The hive mind amplified these instincts, driving the xenomorphs forward with a relentless determination. The intruders were humans, a small group of explorers who had stumbled upon the hive by accident. They were armed, but their weapons were crude and ineffective against the xenomorph's natural armor. The humans had no idea what they were up against, no understanding of the horrors that awaited them in the darkness. They moved cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the gloom, their voices hushed and trembling. They were out of their depth, and they knew it. The xenomorph struck without warning, emerging from the shadows with terrifying speed. The humans barely had time to react before the first of them was dragged screaming into the darkness. The others opened fire, their bullets ricocheting harmlessly off the xenomorph's carapaces. The warriors moved in for the kill, their claws and tails slicing through the air with deadly precision. The drone hung back, its role more supportive, but it was ready to strike if needed.